Morning, everyone. It's so good to see everybody here again. We're going to kick off. There's still people arriving, but they are stuck in traffic and different things. So for those that don't know me, I'm Liz. I'm one of the trustees for Soft UK. And that's Laura here as well, who's our other Scottish one. And we've got Shaun, our charity director. And we have Paige sitting there as well, all the Soft people today. So it's amazing to see everybody. Just a quick couple of housekeeping things. You all know, the people that have been here, if there's a fire alarm, please just go straight out the door, turn right. Don't go for the children and the young people because the creche workers will bring them out and June will, and we would all meet out there. There's no planned fire drill, so hopefully the fire alarm won't go off. Toilets, as we know, just out here, or again, out and through to your left. We're here for lunch and also for dinner for everybody that can stay. Everyone's more than welcome. We just love to have you all here today. It's wonderful. And Laura and I are mega excited today because we have a Scotland banner. Our first time. Woo! The people don't realise what Scotland means to us. This is just absolutely amazing. And Paige, thank you for that. It's gorgeous. We absolutely love it. So there's nothing else really, just lunch and dinner. Get the children from the creche for lunch, obviously, and we're just through there for our lunch. And there's another room for dinner, which I'll let people know. So I'll hand you over to Shaun, who's going to fill you in a wee bit on what Soft's been doing this year. And please feel free, anybody, to go up and down, walk out, in and out. It's not a problem. It's your day, and whatever you need from it is what we're here for. Okay?
Well, thank you. I was going to do a presentation, but they're always a bit boring, so I thought I will just do a couple of updates. So, for everyone who doesn't know me, I'm Shaun. I'm the charity director, and I've been with Soft now for like 5 years. Is it? Has it really been that long?
Yeah. I didn't see how long I've been here.
Okay. How many years do you get to before you stop telling people how long you've been here?
No.
Because you become part of the furniture.
I would just Soft.
Yeah, well, just Soft. Yeah, so I'm dad to Amelia, who's through there somewhere being an absolute monkey. She's got mosaic trisomy 18. But it's lovely to see you. I think I've met most of you already, so always lovely to see you. Before we kick off with anything, I just want to say a big thank to the National Lottery Community Fund who funded today as well. So if you've got any feedback about what we can do in future or about the day, let us know, because that really helps us to go back to places like the lottery and say, you know what, next year we would like to do this. Where the banners come from, actually the banner was made by Paige, but funded by them. So massive thanks to them. It's really helpful because otherwise these things can start to stack up pretty quickly. Now, another thing before I forget, because I always forget to mention, things like cameras. You'll see me roaming around throughout the day. We're only recording audio for people who are actually talking upstage. So if you are in the audience or if you're having a conversation, don't worry. We're not capturing your audio and putting it anywhere there. So we're just using that again to show people who can't be here today so they can see any of the talks that we've got and just show off some of the stuff that we've been doing. So the past sort of like year or 18 months of Soft, we've grown again in terms of our reach. So on average, we reach 93,000 people each month at the moment, which is an incredible number. And that just seems to keep growing and growing and growing. And one of the big things that's growing that at the moment is our website. So this, we changed, 2 years ago now, I think it was. So it was all outsourced, and we thought, you know what, we could maybe do a bit of a better job if we had it in-house, because it means that we could react a little bit faster. So we gave it a shot, and it seems to have worked so far. It didn't break, even when EastEnders went live with the storyline at the same time as our website went live, and almost killed the website. So it's a huge number of people that we reach now, and the vast majority of those, like I said, they're coming through to the website, and one of the main reasons we like that is we don't control social media. And as I'm sure everybody in the room is very much aware that social media at the moment is kind of cracked down on a lot of the things that maybe the US doesn't like. So it puts us in a bit of a vulnerable position that locks down our audience, it locks down what we can talk about. But because we've got our website, we can continue to talk about all the things that Soft represents. And that's really, really important to us. So we're glad to see that is continuing to grow. We're doing a lot with the website as well at the moment. So Paige, our new engagement officer, is currently doing a whole series of blogs on there. So we're looking at different ways that things that historically went on things like Facebook and Instagram can land on the website instead in a little bit more detail, and again, get to a wider audience. We also engage with about 4,300 people each month, so that's direct contact, those that are getting in contact with Soft, those that we're talking to, whether or not that's through social media, direct through the support lines, or direct through the website as well. So those numbers continue to grow each year, which is great because it means that we are helping to spread the awareness of trisomy 13 and trisomy 18. And next, welcome to Paige. So a very quick mention there. You've been on board now since February? End of Feb now. So Paige is our new engagement officer, taking over from Kate. And so far, she's been doing a terrible job. But we don't want to do the recruitment process again. So we're keeping her on for a little while longer and just see how that goes. But a massive thanks to Paige. All the new sort of like comms, everything you'll be seeing on social media, all the new designs. The Scotland banner, which I think is like, it's been received pretty well so far. So if you've got any sort of bits that you want to see us do more in terms of engagement, whether that's on social media, things like this, send them over to Paige. We'll see. If you want to share your story, do any podcasts, vlogcasts, anything like that, again, Paige is your go-to for that. So welcome, and welcome to your first Scotland Day. And then I thought I should quickly touch on webinars, which is a name that stuck, even though I got told it wouldn't stick. It's the name I came up with like 2.5 years ago. Jan was very unimpressed when I called it a webinar, and no one came up with a better name, so they stuck. We did a whole bunch of these last year. We spoke to the likes of British Medical Ultrasound Society, Making Families Count, training for Bradford University. So we're getting into students before they go off into their medical careers, because we do believe that is one of the best places we can be placed, so that way the medics of the future know about trisomy 13, they know about trisomy 18, but more importantly, they know about the language that parents expect to receive through those diagnoses, rather than just the ins and outs of it there. We've done all sorts there, and we'll continue to evolve that. And we're now doing something which is still part of the webinar program, but a bit of an evolution of it, and you might have seen it recently, and that's called Changing the Narrative. And Changing the Narrative is something that I've been quite keen to launch, and then Paige came up with the idea as well about doing a bit of like a week-long campaign it started off as, where we would talk to families and get them to send their experience and things like incompatible with life. What would somebody like to hear instead of that terminology? And then it grew. So we were talking about this at the England Family Day, and we had Sarah Bounsworth there, and she's from Forget Me Not Children Hospice, and she talked about, well, how can we be better placed to help you with that? And the one thing that I found, every single support call that I attend, whenever I talk to any families receiving a diagnosis and I say, have you spoken to your local hospice? And immediately it's like, no, we'll do that when the time comes. And from my experience, I know, well, no, you want to do it straight away. You want to do it as soon as possible, because they're an amazing place and an amazing resource to go to. So we recently went out and we did a whole filming day at Forget Me Not Children's Hospice, and we got to speak to the team there. We got to have a full tour of all the resources they've got, and we got to speak to different families as well. We interviewed them, we filmed them, and we got it all up. So we've got 3 different like documentary type videos upline. And I think they turned out pretty good, so I'm really happy with them. And they're our first thing in the Change of the Narrative series. And the aim of this is we want to take all of those touch points that a family might experience going through a diagnosis and beyond, those bits that we need to give a little bit more information about, that's hard to put together a document, because we can have a page on the website that says, this is what a hospice is and this is what it offers. But when you're struggling and having to download all that information, when you're going through something like that, it's really difficult. So having a separate resource that really shows, well, actually, here we are today in the hospice, speaking to the team about their day-to-day job, speaking to the families about what did that journey look like from start to finish, why do they still go there, what does that mean to the wider family? It allows us to make it more personable, more human, and just do something that the written word can't do. So our next big thing, we will be doing one in the Midlands. So we're going to go out to another, we're off to Rainbow's Hospice, and we'll be doing a shoot there for the day as well, which is really exciting. We're then going to aim to come up to Scotland as well, because obviously we know that the hospice here will run a little bit differently, so it'd be great to capture all of that. But the big one we're going to be doing is living with a family with children with complex needs, to capture the hardship, but also the beauty of that as well. So going out with them when they have to do a grocery shop, because every time we talk to families, they talk about the fact that you've got to get all of that equipment out of a car, you've got to find the right car parking space, you've got to go in, do the administration for the hospital visit, maybe going out on a hospital visit with them as well, but then capturing the day-to-day life and everything there as well. Because one thing we get told by families is, although I love my child dearly, I wish somebody had told me how difficult it would also be, and all of those bits that I've got to contend with. And I thought, you know what, that's going to be a really lovely video, again, that we can then show to future families that are coming through. but also to medics as well. So we can say, look, when you're saying we need you to attend this meeting in 2 to 3 days, that's really not possible. You need to give much more notice. You've got to make accommodations and be able to really kind of give more insight into that. So it's a big project. It's all being done in-house as well. So we're getting to do all the filming of it and all the editing. But the good thing is it means we can respond quicker, because that means if something comes up, it's just a couple of us need to jump in the car and go film it. And it means we also don't have to pay like £10,000 to get a videographer to come out and do it, because that might bankrupt us pretty quickly. So we're having a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of learning. But if anyone in the room has any ideas about what we can do for that, or if you want to be involved in anything like that, just let us know. Because again, to have your voices represented in these videos is really important to us. And that pretty much brings me to the end of what I've got for Soft UK, and ties up quite nice as well, because we were running a bit late. But has anyone got any questions? You know, once you've got us, so you've got Liz here, you've got Laura, Paige, myself. If you've got any questions about Soft or what's going on at the moment,